Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, and today we have some Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and it looks like the new Call of Duty game may have been leaked. Now, it seems like the leaks are coming earlier and earlier every single year. You may be thinking, it's January, how is it possible the new Call of Duty game has been leaked? But remember that the studios are working on a 3-year development cycle. This means that whatever Sledgehammer Games has in store for us for Call of Duty 2017, they've been working on it since the release of Advanced Warfare, which dropped nearly 2.5 years ago. It's entirely possible that whatever they have in store for us, it's in a playable alpha at this very moment. The leaked game, which is titled Call of Duty People's Army, is said to be set in 1945 to 1950 Vietnam, and he also says that perhaps it's set in the Indochina War, which actually started in 1946 and ended in 1954, but honestly, who knows, right? The time period is one that I'm not all too familiar with. It's right in that weird time frame between World War II and Vietnam, which are two of the biggest, most well-known conflicts in all of history, so everything kind of in between that is stuff I'm a bit fuzzy on, but apparently it's set somewhere in that time frame. This would definitely be interesting for a Call of Duty game because it's something we've never seen before, and it would also be late World War II, early Vietnam in terms of weaponry and stuff like that, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Before we go any further, I would like to say take everything you hear in this video with a giant grain of salt. We have seen countless leaked quote-unquote Call of Duty games in the past, and most of them, if not all of them, have turned out to be BS. I mean, every year, seemingly, Modern Warfare 4 has been leaked. We had Call of Duty Bloodlines, we had Call of Duty Iron Wolf, Call of Duty Patriots. Do you guys remember Call of Duty Patriots? That leaked Sledgehammer game before Sledgehammer ever had their first Call of Duty game. It was leaked that their game was going to be a fictional version of World War I, and it actually turned out to be Advanced Warfare. Like, it does not get much further from World War I than Advanced Warfare. So going forward, take everything you hear in this video with a pinch of salt. So the game itself, Call of Duty People's Army, was leaked by a random guy on Twitter. This is actually his profile if you guys want to check it out. His name is just a bunch of random numbers and letters, and he claims it's that way because he does not want to post this on his actual account because he anticipates his account will get banned. He has tweeted out several pictures and even a video of this new game, but he only shows the menus, which honestly would be the easiest thing to fake because it's just basically menus with like moving images in the background. But he claims he's at an event that he will not name for security reasons, and that he is a VIP in a section that they have an Xbox with Call of Duty People's War installed on it. Now, I know it sounds pretty sketchy so far, but the video itself is kind of like your standard leaked video, but it's in surprisingly good quality. You can actually make out everything that's on the screen. I'm going to describe everything on the screen to you guys later on here in the video. So he basically has a cell phone camera actually at 16.9. He's actually got it sideways, not vertical, pointed at a monitor in a dark room that sounds like it's at an event. Like there's faint music in the background and you hear people talking and stuff like that. So it implies that he's at an event of some kind, but again, take this with a giant pinch of salt. Since this is potentially leaked footage, I can't actually put the video on my channel and show it to you guys here in this video. Otherwise, Activision will throw a fit and take down the video and give me a copyright strike, which as a professional YouTuber, I can't be having that. I do have a theory though, but we would really need somebody prominent in the community to do this. Like, we need somebody who has a massive following to upload this leaked footage to their channel to make sure everybody sees it. And if Activision takes it down, that'll pretty much prove that yes, it's actually real and this is going to be the next Call of Duty game that we get here in 2017. But maybe if Activision noticed it and it was real, they would potentially leave it up so people think it's fake. Like, there's no real way to determine whether or not this is real. Like, even the Twitter account which posted the video, if that gets taken down, he could just delete it to try and act like Activision took it down, when in reality they didn't do anything. So we have no real way of proving if this is real or not. So take everything you hear with a pinch of salt. But I'm gonna go ahead and describe to you everything that we saw in that particular leaked video, and there's going to be a link to it down there in the video description as well if you guys would like to follow along. So, Call of Duty People's Army. The opening menu, the start screen basically, is basically a zoom in on a guy's neck pretty much. Like, you see his dog tags around his neck, and you also see a bunch of bandoliers of ammo. He's basically a big LMG guy for the most part. What actually caught my eye is the fact that this is actually very reminiscent of what we saw in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. If you guys remember in Advanced Warfare, when you're at the starting main menu, it basically just gives you a bunch of random shots and like zoomed in cinematic angles of people's exosuits and their gear. It's the same thing, but it's this guy with a big bandolier of ammo and some dog tags. The next thing that he does is he goes to the multiplayer menu, and I was actually pretty surprised because when we went to the multiplayer menu, it looks strikingly similar to the Modern Warfare Remastered multiplayer menu. Now, I'm not saying it looks like it, was just copy and pasted with a couple of things on top of it. It's a similar layout, but it looks like it's an entirely different game. Like, everything has its own font, the background images are different, the soldier is different. You actually have a soldier kind of standing in the middle of the screen, similar to what you have in Modern Warfare Remastered, and he's holding a big light machine gun, right? And like I said, I'm kind of fuzzy in this time period between World War II and Vietnam that this game is supposedly set in, but it looks like he's holding a giant MG42 light machine gun like you would see in World at War. He's a white guy. He looks American, honestly. He doesn't look like he's Vietnamese or anything like that, and he's holding what looks to be a German light machine gun, which is kind of confusing for me, but again, we don't know exactly what is supposed to be in this game. I should also mention that the soldier that we see standing there is pretty much the same soldier that we saw at the starting menu. I mean, he's just, again, this white guy with a brown shirt. He's got dog tags, bandoliers of ammo, an old school helmet with with an ace of spades or something like that in there. Maybe something similar to what you would see in a movie like Full Metal Jacket. To the right of the player is the lobby itself, just like in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. It shows his rank, which is level 1, his name, which is a bunch of random numbers and letters, and his clan tag, which I think says Hex. I can't quite tell. It's a little bit fuzzy. Obviously we're looking at cell phone cameras footage here, but it looks like it says Hex. I can't quite tell. And over on the left-hand side is, of course, the multiplayer options. The options are Find Match, Custom Games, Create a Class, Score Streaks, Barracks, Merchant, as well as Store. And I find it interesting that there's a Merchant as well as a Store, so that says to me perhaps supply drops are going to be in this game. If there's a Merchant, that can be kind of like the Armory, like we see in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and the Store is for actually purchasing DLC and COD points and stuff like that. I really have no idea. When he hovers over the Barracks, it actually says you can check your performance in online matches in combat history. Customization isn't available in this alpha, implying this is actually a closed alpha of some kind that they're using to test the game, or maybe show off at some sort of an event of some kind. There is an image where the map would be, if you can picture the main menu of Modern Warfare Remastered, for example. There's an image down there in the bottom left-hand side of your screen. There is an image, but because of the quality of the video, I can't quite make out what it is, but it looks like a scenic shot of some kind, perhaps the side of a helicopter. I keep thinking that when I see it, but I can't quite tell. But I can make out at the bottom of the image, in scrolling text, you see visit callofduty.com over and over and over and over. When he enters the barracks itself, it shows a stat chart of his wins, losses, ties, kills, deaths, so on and so forth. There is no complete combat record in here, but there are a couple of options that are blacked out, and they're blacked out in really weird locations. Like, for example, to name off some of the things you see here in the barracks, he has challenges, followed by accolades, followed by leaderboards, haha, cough, cough, Infinite Warfare, even this game has leaderboards. Then after leaderboards, there's a blank slate, and then after that, you have customization. Then after that, you have another blank slate, and then from there, you have prestige mode, as well as prestige rewards. And that's basically everything that you can see within the barracks itself. You can also see on the right-hand side of the screen, above all of these stats, the guy has a title and emblem, and I didn't think much of the title and emblem to begin with. It's just a background title, just like you see in Modern Warfare Remastered. There's an emblem that you can get just like in Modern Warfare Remastered. But the emblem itself was actually pointed out by somebody in this guy's mentions. It's actually a famous painting. The name of the painting is the 2,000 Yard Stare, which was a famous painting made back in 1944. And the idea of the 1,000 Yard Stare is meant to represent the unfocused look that some soldiers get when they've been in combat, especially a lot of it. And it's often associated with PTSD. Picture somebody in the middle of a war zone almost, just sitting there just blankly staring off into the distance. That's what the painting is supposed to represent, and pretty much that exact same painting is the emblem that we see here in this video, which has some people questioning the authenticity of the emblem itself, if somebody perhaps just faked this and put that in there because he got an image off of Google, but it could actually just be a reference put into the game. We have no idea. Now, to end off the video, he actually backed out of the multiplayer menu itself, and we saw 4 different options. Number 1, of course, is campaign. Number 2 was multiplayer. Number 3, and I think a lot of people will be excited for this, was undead survival. And number 4 was theater mode. The background image of the menu was, again, kind of similar to what we saw in the starting menu. It was just random zoomed in angles and slow-mo effects of the guy's bandolier and his dog tags and his gear and stuff like that, which again is pretty interesting to me because that's what we saw back in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. But at the same time, it's also kind of sketchy because the guy that we saw, zoomed in at the starting menu was also the same character that we saw in the multiplayer menu. So that may just be part of the alpha. Maybe that's one of the only few characters they have built into the game, or perhaps this is actually fake and the guy just got kind of lazy with it. We really don't know. Now, for the rest of the video, I would just like to discuss the idea of Call of Duty People's Army in general, because I think it could be a very interesting game, assuming, of course, this is actually real. Once again, take this with a pinch of salt. It's probably fake, honestly. It's probably fake. How often do we get stuff leaked this early? Not often, right? So it's probably fake, but when I saw this and people started tweeting me about it and I watched the video, I had a feeling that I haven't gotten in a very long time, and that feeling was just excitement, right? It was just so much excitement for a new Call of Duty game that actually looked very fun, right? When we got leaks and stuff like that for Black Ops 3, or when we started learning about Infinite Warfare, or even Advanced Warfare, the past 3 Call of Duty games, I have not been excited for them like I was back in the day. I remember when I was playing World at War a lot way back when with my friends, and leaked stuff started coming out for Modern Warfare 2. We knew it was going to be Modern Warfare 2, and people were, again, with like very shaky cameras and stuff, capturing footage at events and stuff like that and posting it to YouTube. I was watching all this leaked gameplay. I remember specifically one of them was actually somebody using like the default FAMAS class on the map Favela. And again, it was like the shaky, camera footage at some event of some kind, and just watching it and just eagerly anticipating the game because it was Modern Warfare 2. It was like a more advanced version of Call of Duty 4. It had all the hype behind it, and I was so excited for it. Whereas over the past couple of years, with Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 and now Infinite Warfare, it's always been like, man, futuristic again, huh? We're doing this again. It's not as exciting for me. Of course, I was very excited for Modern Warfare Remastered, but at the same time, I've played this game. I've played Call of Duty 4 for almost a decade now. I have like 150-something thousand kills in that game amongst all of my accounts. I have like 50-something days of playtime in that game, and I've played, and that's not counting like all the competitive stuff I did with game battles and private matches and stuff like that, and I've played those maps. I know them inside and out, which is partly why I'm able to make such good videos of it here in Modern Warfare Remastered, but I've played that game a lot, and while I was excited for the game and while I enjoyed playing it, I've played it before, right? It's a different kind of excitement as compared to the potential of a brand new Call of Duty game. And when I saw this, whether it's real or not, the idea of a new, boots on the ground, old school Call of Duty game that may potentially feature late World War II weapons to early Vietnam weapons, that sounds really cool. Now, I don't know exactly about the time period, right? I don't know much about the Indochina War. I never quite honestly, I haven't heard about it. I had no idea this thing was even a conflict up until this point. Like, I've maybe read about it in history class back in high school. I'm 25 years old now. All that stuff, I've forgotten all of it by now, right? I do not know anything about this war. I haven't heard about it. And I wonder how interesting it might honestly be if we're heavily focusing on playing as the Vietnamese in this game. I wonder how that's going to work. Is Germany going to somehow be involved? Like, how are we getting World War II weapons from Germany in here? Or is it all just going to be stockpiled like old school stuff from Russia that we're going to have to be messing around with here in this game? What of the early Vietnam weapons? Is that stuff going to be there? What's the time frame itself? Are we going to be jumping around kind of similar to the leaks way back in the day about Call of Duty Patriots? The idea of Call of Duty Patriots was, when it was leaked, of course, that it was going to be it's going to be World War I, but in alternate reality, where things are a little bit different. And obviously, that was not true. It turned out to be Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. But what if we have something similar here, where it's like an alternate reality of some kind, and, America's actually working with the Vietnamese? And I have no idea. Like, I'm interested because I would love to see a game where somehow we could just feature elements of World War II as well as elements of Vietnam into one game. Like, if we could be in the jungles of Vietnam in the same game that we also have maps set in Stalingrad, like, that sounds amazing to me. I don't know how the story would work, how you could tie all that together, but that sounds really cool. But the biggest takeaway for me was, here I am. I didn't sleep well last night. I woke up pretty early, and I'm just sitting here playing Modern Warfare Remastered, and I started having a bunch of people start tweeting me links to this guy's Twitter and, of course, the videos that he was posting. And immediately, like, while I'm like in the middle of the game, like looking at this on my second monitor while I'm playing, and immediately just this feeling I got is unlike I haven't had this feeling in a long time. Like, excitement, just like, I can't wait to learn more. It's like, holy crap, what is this? What is this? Like, I was so excited for it. And I have not felt that way about a Call of Duty game probably since, quite honestly, probably Black Ops 2. Maybe Black Ops 2 was the last time I was like really, really excited to learn everything I could about a new Call of Duty game, because after Black Ops 2, we had Ghosts, and I had lost all faith in Infinity Ward at that point. Like, I did not think it could be that great of a game, and when I played it early, and I hated the game from the very beginning, and just Call of Duty Ghosts was not really my thing. And then, of course, after Ghosts, we got Advanced Warfare, right? And then after that, we got Black Ops 3, which Black Ops 3 was pretty fun, but again, it was futuristic. Now we have Infinite Warfare, and we used to have all these futuristic games, like, all in succession like that. And it's kind of, even as an old school fan of the franchise, and we've talked about this before, even I am becoming more lackadaisical towards the franchise itself, because it's like, more futuristic stuff, yay. You know, I love the core fundamental mechanics of Call of Duty, you know, point and shoot, playing domination, getting kill streaks, prestiging. I love, like, the core mechanics, the fundamentals of Call of Duty, but I don't like the setting we've been in for a very long time. I don't like a lot of the weapons that we've had to use for the past couple of years, and just there's lots of things I don't like about the more recent Call of Duty games as compared to the old school ones. And to see something like this, which just sounds so freaking amazing, you know, a brand new Call of Duty game on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, having it be set in like an old time period where we're gonna have lots of kill streaks, and they're actually gold score streaks apparently in this league, having lots of things like that, having a bunch of really old school weapons, World War II / Vietnam, and maybe some stuff in between that I don't even know too much about, being able to play on maps that are going to be set in real world conflicts, you know, actually in the jungles of Vietnam and stuff like that, as compared to, you know, on the moon and stuff like that. It sounds really cool. So I'm hoping this is real. I really am. I don't know what they're going to do with it if it is real. Like, this is out of left field if this is actually real. I don't think anybody anticipated a Call of Duty game set in Vietnam. And if they did, they thought it would be covering, you know, the actual Vietnam War. Maybe not perhaps, you know, the Indochina War, but perhaps, you know, what if it starts off there, you know, in the Indochina War, then it kind of moves on into the actual Vietnam War itself. It covers like a wide range of history all there, with maybe some late World War II stuff involved. I have no idea, guys. It's a leak. Check the video out for you guys yourselves. I described it the best I could here in this video, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. Again, it's entirely possible, and probably it's most likely that this is actually just a fake leak. Somebody, you know, who's actually good at programming or something like that, decided to put together a multiplayer menu and then, you know, pretend like it's leaked footage he's taking of it, just to see if he can get a reaction and get a bunch of YouTubers like myself to cover it, because he thinks it's a funny troll to do to the community. And if so, I mean, congrats to you, but ultimately I wanted to make a video on this regardless, because this idea, Call of Duty People's Army, you know, going back to Vietnam, going back to older wars, and how excited that made me, I wanted to share with you guys here in this video. So hope you guys all enjoyed it. Drop me a rating. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.